What's up, MPX addicts, and welcome to MPX Rehab. I am your host, the hashtag certified Mark J. Williams, here with my co-host, as always.
Did you say cash tag? Are you taking money now or something?
I wish cash tag. I am cash tag certified, Mark, so if you want to send some money to my Cash App, please do.
The voice of the MPX addicts, Kyle Smith.
And if you are seeing this, then, well, the world hasn't ended yet. Though I'm pretty sure by the time this comes out, some people might think it has. We are recording this on Tuesday night rather than our usual Wednesday night because, well, tomorrow night...
There's a big event happening at the MPX Event Center.
Oh, yeah, and we're so very looking forward to that.
Yeah, the new Texas Pro is part of the Texas Grand Prix, and, well, MPX has welcomed their buildings because there's a lot of North Texas talent in that.
Oh, yeah. So, larger than life. Chandler Hopkins, Gino Medina, Fuego del Sol, Jackson Stone, everybody.
Yeah, there's so many talents, and then they're all going to be there. We're also going to get, I think Joe's going to be there, and Gina, or Mysterious Q. So it's going to be great. I can't wait for when everyone sees it. Luckily, we're going to be there live. We'll talk about it. We're not going to talk about spoilers or anything, because that's one thing I've liked about the Grand Prix is there's been no spoilers, really. So it's been really fun to watch on IWTV. You'll get the clips every now and then of, watch this hard-hitting clothesline or something. And then it's just, hey, Thomas Shire and Aaron Mercer beat the shit out of each other. Tune in when it airs, and it's really good.
Yeah, and it's like after we watch all the matches and everything like that, we're going to do what we can to keep it, keep it from being spoilery, but talk about it regardless.
It's like when you were a kid, like before the internet, watching wrestling was kind of fun because it was there was no spoilers. Yeah, and then we got into the Attitude Era and the Monday Night Wars, and it was always who's going to jump ship? Who's going to end up on what show? This person's in the same town that WCW's running. That means he's going to be on Nitro, and everything kind of got spoiled. And it goes along with a lot of things in wrestling that have changed, but that's one that, man, if it could ever come back, and let's be honest, it's all on the fans. It would be great, and that's something, like I said, with the Texas Grand Prix that's really cool is it's been very secretive. Yeah,
and honestly, that's one of the things we definitely try to do. It's like, yes, we know a lot of stuff that happens behind the scenes, and because we have our analytical, we want to be booker minds, we tend to sometimes guess things. But we actually don't ask for spoilers. We don't get spoilers for as much as we can because we don't want to know. We want our reactions. When you watch Mainline, we want that to be our honest first reactions, even in character.
Okay, I was going to say, not really honest reactions.
Okay, you got a point there. It's like, because, we're both...
For you, maybe. Me, I have to act and play a little.
I do, too, because I'm sitting there going... I have to sit there and trash talk Jamie Aller when I think he's the most damn entertaining person ever.
Yeah, and that's...
Especially when he goes after Doug.
And that's going to be something definitely when we start breaking down this show and next show that we'll definitely talk about a lot.
Yeah. So this weekend was packed full of excellent wrestling at MPX because we got one of our Friday shows back.
Yeah, the Friday show, Scooby was, the Mystery of the Haunted Ring or something?
Yeah, the Haunted Ring.
It was something when it first started. I'm not going to lie, I was like, wait, what is this? Because I was expecting the horror villains. I was expecting Leatherface and Ghostface and all that stuff, the really Halloween-y. Yeah. And it started as an actual Scooby-Doo murder mystery.
Yeah, it was a Scooby-Doo mystery set in wrestling.
Right.
I was like, seriously, the WWE episode of the actual Scooby-Doo cartoon wasn't this good, in my opinion.
I didn't watch it. I actually wanted to. I just didn't. Yeah. No, and it was like I brought my friend, which he's been coming a lot lately. He even said, he's like, man, I can't think of a 2-hour movie in the past couple of years that's made me laugh and entertained as much as this show did. It was something from top to bottom. Like, at first, I'm not going to lie, with the Beak and Buzz.
Buzz and the Beak.
At first, I'm kind of like, what is this? What's going on?
Okay.
And then it wasn't, I think it was that very first depressed Freddy match with Dr. Acula. Who,
speaking with Sky,
who is a great therapist, apparently.
Yeah.
He helped Freddy get out of his funk. That's when, from that one on, it just got funnier and creative and entertaining, and therefore, and it just, everything about it was so great. Dexter coming to Johnny Bravo, Dexter Bravo. So great.
Sexy Dexter Bravo.
And we know we know because we've seen Dimitri can just nail Shaggy and knock it out of the park.
He's perfect. Baby D as Velma is fantastic and always fun.
And
although I thought it was a little funny that this time around she's like, I don't know how to wrestle. It's like, we saw you last time.
No, that was different.
That was different. Yeah.
That's not canon.
It's episodic, not serial.
Right. This is What's Up, Scooby-Doo.
Right.
Whatever the second thing was. And then, of course, X's Scrappy is amazing.
Oh, God.
Which,
with the new costumes, was just perfect. And it's like, unfortunately, we didn't get Lizzie as Daphne this time.
We didn't, but man, Allie was a great fill-in. Allie knocked it out.
Yeah, she was perfect as Daphne. She, like, at first I didn't recognize her. I'm like, who that? And
well, then we saw Anthony, and it all made sense.
Oh yeah, everything made a whole lot more sense there. And of course, Matt Palmer as Freddy just is like as Depresso Freddy.
Well, and I love how someone sitting there is like, "Oh man, Palmer's a great actor." I go, "What makes you think this is acting?"
That's why I posted the thing. It's like for clarification on that post, if you saw it, it's how much of this is acting, how much of this is legit. That was the Dr. Acula Freddy match. Because like part of me sitting here going, how much of this is Freddy Jones being a character, and how much is Palmer just kind of letting things out?
I was gonna say, man. I think Palmer was working some through things. So but it was great. And then for me, like I said, Allie I thought killed it in a first time kind of performance as Daphne. Shaggy and Scrappy, Dimitri and X, always great. For me, what stole it, and it's probably because Willy Wonka was my favorite movie as a kid.
That was the best match.
Kirby was phenomenal as the Candyman.
I was like, that was.
And his Oompa Loompa was great. And working with Daphne, just everything about that match. Like, and we'll get into it later when we talk about what's going to happen this week. But goddamn, Kirby has it still, and he's never lost it.
That is the absolute truth.
Like, me and you both sat there the whole time, we're like, oh man, I forgot how good Kirby is as a heel.
Oh God,
as just the greatest man alive.
It seriously just makes me think is like it really was just shades of the greatest human being alive the whole time, and I was loving every minute of it because he's a great villain. I love him as a hero, as Mr. Mayhem. He's a lot of fun.
Right.
It like kind of reminds me of like Tommy Dreamer a little bit, and especially back during his WWE run when he was like, no, I'm the working guy, I'm the hardest worker here and everything. But when he's the greatest human being alive, he is so good at that.
And what's great, and what I think was very revealing to me was, yes, he had that whole bit of the greatest human being alive, and he would do it to adults. This, he's working to kids, and he's still such a great heel, but he's also kid friendly. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I think that's, to me, that's hard to do, because I'll be honest, I couldn't do that, because my first response is to go adults home.
And the fact that he's like, the kids were constantly interrupting him, especially that first time where he just, kind of got,
oh my
angry.
Gosh, he knew what to do, and he worked it, and it was brilliant.
I mean, I guess it helps to be a dad.
I was going to say, it's probably because he has kids, so he knows how to deal with them, but man, it was so great. And then, the Oompa Loompa was phenomenal. And it was... I
have to agree, future MPX champion right there.
Probably, because the timing of when he went to the rope, because that was the first thing I saw him climb. I go, too early, but he stopped. And I was like, oh, he knows. Like, he knew exactly where the time it, when the jump, like everything he did was brilliant. I mean, obviously, yes, he's obviously done this who knows how long, probably for years.
He grew up around this.
Exactly.
Literally.
So it was so great. And then, just thinking like, man, if it wasn't 2020, he probably could be wrestling right now.
Yeah.
Because what was it? Rey Mysterio, I think, was 14 when he started professionally.
Something like that. Yeah.
So
hear about these people. It's like, oh yeah, I started wrestling at 12. It's like,
exactly.
How? Nice.
So when he's 16, 17, he has his first match in MPX, and hopefully I'll be there. It's going to be exciting.
It's going to be like, watching Casey Clay all over again, but better because it's even more homegrown,
So we go from comparing Casey to Jackson, now we're comparing other people to Casey.
Hey, you know what? After his match this last week...
the Friday show, I mean, the only other thing we can talk about, because the performances was great, it was a fun show, and the story itself, because it was a Scooby-Doo show played out right in front of your eyes.
Yeah.
Just when it's up, actually, I think it's already up, watch it on the network. It's well worth the $9.99 for the month just for that one show.
Yeah, definitely. I cannot.
It was so fun. And like I said, my friend kind of shocked me when he said, in the past 2 years, or in the past years, he hadn't had a movie that's kept him that entertained in 2 hours.
Oh yeah.
And I started thinking, I go, that may be better than their first show. I'll have to rewatch the first show because I remember loving that first show so much.
The first show was fantastic, and I got to say, the energy of the crowd on Friday was incredible itself. Because come on.
Yeah, it was great. And then
it's like because we had Crazy Eddie
Eccentric Ed, which actually I was just about to bring that up. Is not saying who he is, but I think that match with X is the longest he's worked, and it looked so good, and it showed a different side to where you're like, oh, we could do something with that.
Yeah, and no, it's like I'd always thought that it's like maybe his ability to work out to the crowd like he does is because he's behind a mask and everything like that. But this proved that no, give him a character, give him something to work with, and he can work it. He'll, like we say, jump in legs first and just
yeah, and it will be great. But yeah, him and X I thought did very well. Again, Scrappy's amazing.
Oh,
and X himself's amazing.
And of course,
I wish
we
got
can't
X
talk
back.
about we can't help but talk about the final twist. The fact that when we said that they got just about everybody back, we meant it.
Yeah,
Frankie Danky Doo.
Yeah, Scooby came back, and it was incredible. Everything.
Yes.
Thermostat.
Oh yeah.
Flying asshole, which I think he let slip because he realized afterwards. Because you literally see flying asshole him do it, and then kind of the big eyes when he sees all the kids, he goes, "Oh yeah, kid show."
Frankie Fisher is not rated G.
No, and I hate that he keeps teasing Texas Rumble 2021 with him and Tatum because just that little bit of him, I was sitting there, I was like, I want him back. Like, I miss Frankie. And I was saying with Palmer, like, as soon as Palmer hit, I'm like, holy crap, I miss Palmer.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Palmer, we'll talk about it. He'll be here Saturday.
Yeah.
But, man, it's one of those where just taking those little breaks, you forget how much you miss these guys and how good they are. And that's the thing. Like, Frankie, now, granted, we don't know what he does, if he trained or not for this match or whatever, but to my knowledge, no. He just hit the ring, and it doesn't look like he's missed a step.
No.
Now, he may come back and say, oh, no, it hurt, it was sore, I was tired, I was gassed, whatever. You can't tell.
Yeah. No, it was fantastic. And the like at the end, we got the whole group out there, and that was a lot of fun. And, Dexter and Nova, that was a lot of the fact that it ended on a high note rather than, people getting beat up and everything.
Well, and the fact that it was their anniversary technically.
Yeah,
so that was really cool. That was something I kept sitting there the whole time thinking is how cool is it that Dexter and Nova essentially last year met and started dating at a show, Friday show, and then they have this Friday show. It's like their 1 year anniversary. I thought it was really cool for them to end the show like that. And some fans know it, some fans don't. And then also because you said high note, I love how Shaggy comes out to "Cause I Got High."
The instrumental version, because
because that was my first thought when they played it. I go, they just a don't, and I go, no, they're not. And then I started thinking, I go, oh yeah, it's instrumental. Because I remembered last year, I was like, oh yeah, instrumental. Okay,
as long as it's instrumental, it's all good. It's like, and while I liked the different versions of the Scooby Doo song from last time, this time actually giving them their own song.
Oh,
like with Daphne.
Daphne is the girl Bad Guys Want. Oh my god, because Bowling for Soup, most people know, is my favorite band. So I was like, oh my gosh,
one of my
amazing.
top 5, definitely.
There was one, like if Scrappy didn't have his own theme, I was like, man, play the Scrappy theme, and then it says Puppy Power, play X is going to give it to you. Oh, I thought that would have been brilliant.
Oh, that would have been great.
I thought it would have been so great.
Oh, that would have been wonderful. But yeah, so we've gushed enough about the Friday show because we do have other shows to get to. Let's talk about Masquerade Saturday. That was an intense show.
Spectacular.
Oh yeah. Because it's like we had the whole thing of just a lot of changes for some characters and a lot of we'll see how things go.
Yeah.
You know, first match was CJ Ward versus Matlock. It was great to see Matlock back.
Yeah, that was something like when he first came out, I go, who are you? And then immediately he threw a kick. I go, I remember you. I remember liking you.
Yeah.
And yeah, this is our, I think, second time to see him. He was part of that battle royal for Prison Break or the Hateful Eight.
Yeah.
For that shot to get
Where
the
we
prospect
first got
title.
Johnny O'Mara and Ashton Jacobs and everybody like that.
Yeah, he was in that. And I remember thinking, oh, I like you. I want to see more of you. And we finally did. And I do. He's my style. He's very stiff, or at least stiff looking. And you know,
it looked dangerous. I was like,
oh, and I'm sure CJ was like, yeah, that hurt. The kicks, the punches. He's got that Japanese type strong style to him.
oh yeah.
And the suplexes. Like I said, I really enjoyed them. And then CJ, like I said, I don't think there's any better heels right now at the moment. That
Not
sadly,
really.
I don't.
I mean,
and I'm not.
that's like that's not looking at the consummate heel of MPX himself, Jamie Aller.
Right, and that's what I'm about to say is like, man, we've got so many great heels in MPX, and I feel like sometimes CJ gets overlooked, and I hate that because CJ is so good. And we said it at Purple Rain, we're like, man, Tatum's got a rocket strapped to him, it's going to go to the moon. CJ deserves to be somewhere up high on the card for what he did for Tatum.
Yeah.
And I mean, he is going to get it this week. Obviously, he got the big call out. So he's got that big match, which I think is great. It's just, man, give CJ a mic more. Give CJ matches. Like, CJ can't. If we're going to constantly use him, he can be a top guy for you.
And the thing is, it's like I kind of want to see a promo war between CJ and Tatum when they actually get going against each other. Give them a more full feud.
Oh, yeah.
And everything. You know, don't worry so much about Menage a Trois. Don't just make it CJ versus Tatum, because the two of them in a promo office, like especially after that tater tot redhead.
Oh man,
line.
And that's the thing. Like I didn't want to say it because I am enjoying the Menage a Trois we have right now. But man, if CJ breaks loose of that and it's just CJ against Tatum, against whoever the faces are at MPX, that's awesome.
Oh yeah,
like having CJ with Menage a Trois, yeah, it's cool. But man, I think CJ on his own could be something special.
He could. He definitely could. And honestly, I'm definitely looking forward to the future of CJ Ward at MPX because he's just that good.
No, and again, I want to see more Matlock. I hope we get him back more. Because again, I mean, yeah, it's a niche style, and it's my style that I like the most, but I want it.
But yeah, speaking of that strong style, we had a huge change. Oh, look, it's our cat host.
Yes, it's the official cat of MPX Rehab.
Yes.
Or certified mark or whatever. Are you blocking the full camera, sir?
No. This is what happens when you're videotaping as well. You know, we could normally ignore him if we're just doing audio.
Right.
But yeah, we got Larger Than Life versus Nate Collins and Sebastian Envy, and I have to agree with
Dot Mob 2.0. No, that's right. Dot Mob's dead.
Yeah, just like you called it, fake Dot Mob 2.0.
Oh yeah, fake Dot Mob 2.0.
But no, yeah, I agree. Dot Mob seems to be gone by the wayside with most of the people to the wind.
Well, I was gonna say it feels. I want to say they just disbanded, but they did seem to all go their separate ways. It looks like. Primetime, Dante's killing it on Dark right now. Jerome's got some big things coming up in Florida, it looks like. So,
and here.
Oh yeah. You know, and it just kind of does leave everyone else to the wayside. But Nate, I was never, and I'll be honest, and most people disagree with me, I was never a fan of Nate Collins joining Dot Mob to begin with, because I thought he could do something special on his own, and in Dot Mob I felt he was going to get left behind, because no offense to the people in Dot Mob, if you're not Jerome and you're not the primetime radical athletes, you're nothing. You're just members there to fill out a stable.
And that's why when Kenny came back to MPX for a while, it was, great to see him.
Right.
I mean, he came out to the Dot Mob music and everything like that, but people weren't cheering Dot Mob.
No,
people were cheering Kenny Steele.
Exactly, and that's the thing. When Kenny ran MPX before Brent took the title off of him, people were there for Kenny Steele. They didn't care about Dot Mob.
Yeah.
And then he leaves to join Dot Mob, and well, look what happened. He didn't do anything. And that's the thing. I wish Kenny would come back, because Kenny is a great talent that is also part of MPX history. And the same with Nate. Nate, if he's by himself or if he wants to tag with Kenny, fine. But Nate Collins can do special things as a single star, if allowed.
Yeah.
And just with Top Mop, sadly, I don't think he was allowed.
Well, is like this may lead to that because during the match, Nate Collins and Sebastian Envy, that was a strange team up to begin with. And Sebastian Envy already showing the shades of turning heel and everything like that. Didn't come out in the Goku gear, came out, just wearing all black. And was more concentrating on getting his glory than beating Larger Than Life.
Right.
Because, Nate had Tommy dead to rights, had Ryan dead to rights, was about ready to just bring them down and then they could win the match. But Sebastian wanted to take it.
Well, yeah, Sebastian wants that win because, I mean, I think it's one of those, if you look at the history of Sebastian MPX, he does have a chip on his shoulder, and rightfully so. He's a technically former Addicts champion, right? Or was it Prospect?
Prospect.
Yeah, he was a former Prospect champion. And, it's one of those where every other time he's come in, it hasn't worked out well for him.
Yeah.
And especially in tag teams, it never works out, or in multi-man matches like we saw when Noah rolled him up. Like we talked about, I was extremely excited for him to drop the whole Dragon Ball Z strong style nerd to go to the cinephile because one, I like movies more, and then I don't like Dragon Ball Z. So
did you see the new gear?
Yes,
that looks amazing.
So I can't wait to have him back with the strong, all that.
And
coming back.
And from what I have heard about how he's going to go with this, like I said on my thing, it's like it reminds me of that the epic rap battles Kubrick and everything like that. It just makes me think. Black Kubrick?
Exactly. And that's, I'm excited to see him come back. And again, if him and Nate do have a match, I think it's going to be great.
That is the first match I want to see out of that. Then I want to see him go after Noah.
Yeah. Revenge that loss. But again, like I said, these two men, it was a weird tag team pairing, and it's, obviously just gave Jamie more fuel to the fire.
Ooh.
Oh,
sorry,
God,
just a thought occurred to me. It's like what I'd love to see is like, okay, he goes against Nate, beats Nate, goes against Noah, beats Noah, goes against Casey, beats Casey because I love Casey, but Sebastian's better. But he takes that and he goes after another belt, one that he hasn't held yet, one being held by the biggest face of MPX, our
Tatum.
MPX Addicts champion, because Sebastian versus Tatum.
Yeah.
That would be an awesome match.
I think him doing promo work before, like the vignettes and everything, like he would do, would be great. Tatum doing it the day of would be amazing, and it could be a good match. We would see. I think it would take a lot for MPX management, one, to use Sebastian that way, and then two, to actually build him up to that. So, but it's possible. Like I said, these two come back. I would like to see them singly again. And like I said, I think both of them can do special things singly if they're allowed to.
Yeah. And
then of course Larger Life is just great. So
yeah,
the greatest unsigned tag team.
As much as we love Larger Than Life, it's like they were kind of the backdrop to this story of this match, because the story of the match is more about Sebastian's full turn.
Right. It was kind of twofold. One, it was like, because Jamie said it in the promo, we got two guys who are just thrown together because, they got nothing else for us.
Yeah.
And they don't have our tag titles. And it was the whole storyline for that. And then, Sebastian and Nate giving them a little grief. And then...
Man, we'll talk about the deal with the tag titles as soon as, we get to that match in the next show.
And then Larger Than Life, taking advantage of the mistakes, getting the win, rolling out. And then, it went into Nate and Sebastian. And Nate... Yep. If you follow his Facebook, I think he even posts on the Addicts. He's called Sebastian out. So
So hopefully we'll get that match soon, because that's going to be awesome.
Yep.
And then after that, we got a match that I've been kind of calling for myself for a bit. Double D versus Noah Navarre.
Oh, your Battle of the Abs.
Battle of the Abs. Ab fight. The definition of dehydration and, all abs, all heart. Noah Navarre.
You're giving more ammo for the Black Heart Owen Hart to come out.
Yeah. Oh God, I want that. That would be awesome. Yeah.
If Noah is not Owen Hart at the retro show, I will be upset. I'm just saying that right now.
He's got it. Yeah. It's like, seriously, look into that, man. It would, like, heck, get a couple of other people. Bring back the full.
Oh God, Casey as Brett.
Casey as Brett. Alex as Jim.
Oh, the Anvil.
Bring Who would be the British Bulldog then? I don't know.
Because I was trying to think X, but then I was like, yeah, it could work. And no, the one I was trying to think is who's going to be the loose cannon, Brian
Pillman. Yeah. Not his son.
No.
I
think he's on a list.
Yeah.
Or might be.
Yeah.
He might be one of those we overlook because always good.
This is like, other than the ab off and, it's like Noah looking a little more reserved this time. I think you might have made him a little self-conscious.
I didn't get a woo count. I was a little disappointed.
Yeah.
And
we got him from Casey, but not from Noah.
Oh, that was awesome.
But it's like Noah getting the win on this.
Yep.
That was really cool. And honestly, against someone like Double D, who is a great wrestler himself, that just made it all the more cool.
I think it is, and it's cool because Noah hasn't had a lot of these wins solely. And, he's been in multi-mans, he's been in tags, and other than getting the crap chopped out of him by Jackson Stone, you haven't necessarily seen a lot of them singly.
And he's always been the guy that you look at as like, oh, if he's in a multi-man match, he's the one that's there to eat the pin.
Yeah, for the most part.
No,
Sebastian
he's been pretty strong on this.
No, and that's the thing. Like, so him and Double D put on a great match, and it was a lot more technical based than I thought it would be for Noah. I thought Noah would kind of flash a little more. But no, it was good. I thought he was solid. Of course, there's things to always, pick apart and say he could do better at. But then again, this is his.
Yeah, it's like the thing is like you look at it and it's like you start to get the thing of it's like, oh no, he could have done that better. He could have done that better, and then you realize, oh yeah, but he's still a rookie. He's doing fucking incredible.
Exactly. So. I enjoyed the match. I thought it was good. And then, it's going to be interesting to see how much longer they can keep Casey and Noah together, yet, not fight each other. Because I do think the story is ripe for a split there.
It's right there.
I think it's there for Noah to be Owen Hart to Blackheart, where he's jealous and and
I'd like to think that if he does get that character, does get that permission to go be the asshole and everything like that, might break out of his shell there and truly just bring himself out.
I think sometimes it does. I think in Tatum's case it was different for the fact that being a heel didn't necessarily work for him as much as a character, as opposed to when he could be a face and show who he is.
Yeah. But I'm also
others
talking like, and yes, we're talking about the E here, but like Rocky Maivia.
I was going to say, for some others, it's different.
He tried to be the face to start, and it was great. Not really, though.
Nope.
And then he comes out as The Rock for the Nation of Domination, and he just lets loose.
Yeah, and
it was just like he was boom.
Exactly, and it's the same case in Owen. Owen, as a heel, was so cheesy and unbelievable that people hated it and just wouldn't like it at all. And then he turns heel, and everyone's like, "Oh, this is interesting. Like, I like this." When he, what was it? Kicked the leg out from your leg, Brett. In Royal Rumble '94, when he did that and just went on a tear. I mean, and yes, I'm a huge Owen Hart fan. People can't tell. Should have had the belt at SummerSlam against Brett and just continued that longer. They could have built that forever. But no, it was good. And that's the thing. Like, I think if Noah does turn heel and does a split with Casey, he could really excel, and I think it would open him up more, because there are some, like you said, that when they go heel to face, it doesn't work. They're kind of sheltered. And when they go the other way, it opens them up. And I think that could be very well. My only thing is it's exactly like me and you say all the time. We've said it. It's easy. It's right there. That's what we're not going to do because it is so easy, and because it's right there.
It's that easy. It's that predictable. And, some of the MPX management like to treat us as if they're the, showrunners for Game of Thrones. Hi, boss. Okay, so moving on to the next match, which I got to say, this, in my opinion, this was match of the night. It was Joe Angelo Garcia.
You better say it's Joe and Casey.
Versus Casey Clay. The Hispanic cause of panic, which, oh man,
it's amazing. I love it.
That was fantastic. But this whole match was just great because
you're not going to say Casey's name.
Catastrophically charismatic
there
Casey Clayton. Sorry, Hispanic cause of panic flows a whole lot better. And I gotta say, it's like Casey's doing a great job of earning his moniker.
Man, that first sequence of them, like we said, something so simple, yet they made it look amazing.
It was great.
And it was so fast, and it was something that I didn't know. Like, that was when the first matchup happened. I go, I don't know if Casey can keep up with Joe.
And the thing is, they did a great job of making it look like Casey was outclassing Joe at every turn.
And I think that's how good Joe and Jamie were at getting that point across. And just, again, I said it before COVID when Joe had his little run before he left. And now... So it's like I was saying, before COVID, you know, I was saying Joe had these amazing matches and everything like that, and he was becoming match of the night kind of for, you know, a while. And he's come back, and ever since he's come back, still the same thing.
Yeah.
Joe is one of those performers now that it's kind of like, as much as I miss Tadlock, seeing Joe by himself is phenomenal. And this match, while yes, it is match of the night, hands down probably tonight, I put it in match of the year candidacy. It was that good to me. I thought it was brilliant.
I kind of agree with you there, because seriously, the whole thing was just,
and that finish with them running back and forth, ducking each other, who's going to hit, and then Joe finally nails, and I mean nails.
Oh man, that
super kick.
I thought that he took Casey's head off. I mean, it's like, yeah, it's like they made it look like Joe had to be the heel to win.
Oh my God.
He had to, you know, Jamie had to get in there and beat up on Casey. Jamie had to, because otherwise there was no other way. And then out of nowhere, that super kick straight to the face. Oh, geez. And Casey goes down.
Oh, man. It was great. And Joe just... And part of it is probably Joe's character, but part of it is probably Joe himself being super excited that finish happened, because the excitement he let out when he hit it and getting the win, just, that was real.
And it was incredible.
Because the sequence they do and rewatch it and how fast they're going, it takes literally a second or an inch or a trip to mess that whole thing up, and they nailed it.
And the thing is like, I'm looking at it like, it's like, I'm wondering if part of it is the fact that, you know, Joe got to wrestle someone who's new, who's fresh, and can keep up with him.
Right.
Because he's wrestled Silver multiple times. Silver can keep up with him.
Yep.
But he's wrestled Silver multiple times. He's wrestled, you know, Dimitri. He's wrestled, you know, a whole bunch of others. But some of them couldn't keep up with Joe. Joe had to actually slow down for them.
And that's off bad knees. And to see Joe as good as he is with the knee injuries he's had, it's... Again, I've said it several times in the show already, and Joe is another special talent that, one, we're lucky to have at MPX, and then two, hopefully to keep getting him back, and MPX management can do special things with him if they choose, because, man, with Jamie as a mouthpiece, which sadly that is Joe's probably downfall, is the mouthpiece a little bit. Not in-ring character. In-ring charisma and in-ring talking, he can do. It's the promos and everything like that. That's where Jamie excels at, and that's where you can help him. But, man, Joe in-ring right now in MPX, don't think in-ring wise, there's not many that can touch him.
That was a fantastic match. I'm really hoping we get more like that soon.
Yeah.
After that was Baby D versus Erica Torres, which, you know, holds a special place in my heart, because, like I said, it was the first time I got to see Baby D and Erica Torres in 2018 at Controlled Chaos. They faced each other. It was a great match. Really got me to be a fan of both of them. And then we got to see it again. And this one, it was different because, you know, it's Masquerade. So Erica's coming out. You know, and she's part of Menage a Trois now. Totally different character than when she was the queen of everything.
Exactly.
And so it's just like, it was a different feeling too, you know?
It is. And that's one of those where we had talked about how this Erica, this character is, I like it better than her Queen of Evil, everything she did.
Yeah.
Like this character where she's the dog, and her and Double D both. I like both these characters better than what the first time we saw them a couple years ago. And then her and Baby D obviously are going to put on a great match, because it's two vets who, you know, just have always had good chemistry in the ring against each other.
Yeah.
And I think one of the most impressive things to me, and I'm pretty sure it's a GIF on the wrestling or the Addicts page, is the power bomb off the second rope that Erica gave Double D or the Baby D.
Baby D.
There's a D in there somewhere.
Yeah.
So.
And then Baby D goes and choke slams Erica for the win. It's just like, holy crap.
Everything about that match I thought was, done really well. And it was because my friends out there, he goes, how come Double D's not with her? I was like, well, that's the kind of cool thing about them is they're together, but they're never really out ringside with each other. It's that Japanese, we're in a stable, but you're on your own. So I thought it's kind of cool that they do that. I can
win by myself. I don't need to have, everybody near me at all times.
So thoroughly enjoyed the match. Thought it was good, solid, very, very stiff. And that's something that both Eric and Double D, or Baby D, I keep saying Double, Baby D do well. Is, when they hurt, when they chop, they chop. When they punch, they punch. And so it was great. And it's, again, like I said, for me, that highlight was that powerbomb because it just, on that GIF in the slow-mo, you see the strength in Erica. Because it's not just a simple, hey, Baby D, you take the fall and jump off. No, but she actually lifts her and then walks a step and then tosses her. Yeah. It was beautiful.
And then, speaking of strong matches, we also had the MPX Addicts Championship match. It was Dexter Hardaway versus Tatum Manning. Dexter was defending against Tatum, and Tatum was convinced he was going to be the three-time MPX Addicts champion. And he is.
Yeah, we channeled The Rock and now into Booker T. So, and did a scissor kick. So, and again,
like I said, he just goes, picks names out of a hat. Who am I going to be this week? And it's going to be awesome one way or the other.
Like we've said, no matter, as long as he's getting the reaction he's getting, it doesn't matter. Keep doing what you're doing. You could be Doink the Clown and people would probably still cheer. You could be Dink and people would still cheer.
No, that's next week.
But yeah, no, Tatum and Dexter had a great match. Yeah. Very, very old school almost, like what you expect for Dexter.
And he was trying to, by any means necessary. Nova was out there to help him.
Yep.
He tried to, cheat to win. He tried to get counted out and everything like that. But Tatum wasn't having any of it. He's like, no, man, I know, Uncle Dex. I'm wise to your tricks. I was like, even dragged him over to our Titantron, Metrotron.
Yeah, that thing. Yeah. He said he wanted to pose, so he posed him.
So he posed him and slapped the smack.
Everything was so great, and I love how, yes, the match was good, but we've created and made our Facebook personas real. Our real life personas are now being brought into MPX with Dexter filing agreements because Bambi said he got what he deserved and that Bambi was an unbiased ref, which, come on, Bambi is.
Damn it, Bambi.
Oh, we no longer damn it, Carl. We damn it, Bambi.
Damn it, Bambi.
But I think that's brilliant. That's a great way to go. And it gets we're going to get another good match out of.
Oh, yeah.
So,
no, I actually can't wait to see that because that is going to be an absolutely awesome thing.
Yes. But yeah, everything, again, like we said, everything Tatum touches seems to turn to gold. So
and
it's amazing.
And we've said before, Dexter doesn't have boring matches.
Nope.
So putting the two together is honestly, if Casey and Joe had not put on that work of art beforehand, this would have been match of the night.
And
hands down.
We'll probably get told why we're wrong because Dexter and Tatum did put on a hell of a performance.
They did put on a hell of a performance, but just seriously, Joe and Casey did just
Joe and Casey
better.
Was amazing. And I just realized Casey's 12, 13 matches in, and we already said he's got a match of the year candidate.
Oh, you're going to get people mad.
Oh, I'm sure.
It's they only been here for a cup of coffee. Why are you putting them on that list?
That match was so good. Go watch it. That's why. But no, having Tatum, the 3-time Addicts champ, I thought was great. And I enjoy the celebration. Like, one of my favorite things, one of the reasons I love Edge is every time Edge won the WWE title, it looked like it was his first time winning.
Yeah.
He would break down in tears. He would hug the belt. He would kiss it. It was the greatest thing ever. And that's how Tatum was. Tatum knelt down with the title, kissed it, hugged it. That's what I like to see in a wrestler when they get a title. I
don't even think this was him trying to copy Edge. This was just Tatum I've got my belt back.
And this is something I think wrestlers really should, because you have some wrestlers that's like, oh, act like you've won it before and just take it, it's yours. You should never lose it. But I think there is something to be said for that emotion of, you finally got it. You finally got what you're chasing for. You embrace it. You break down in tears because, I can only imagine, say like Dimitri was able to get that Addicts or even MPX title. Dimitri would give that reaction of breaking down because it's real. He finally got what he's wanted.
Yeah. And
yeah.
honestly, I think Tatum is Addicts champion if he's able to survive the next week. It's going to be
He has to survive the night?
yeah. Well, no. That's the next match we're talking about, actually. But the fact that is like, I think he's going to be the Addicts champion.
Yeah.
Like not just the Addicts champion as in he's holding that belt, but he's holding.
No,
he is
The Rock was the people's champion.
Exactly.
Tatum's our Addicts champion, no matter if he's got the belt or not.
Exactly. And honestly, at
The Rock comparison continues, never will stop.
Actually, my comparison was going to be more towards Dave.
Oh, well,
Because
yeah.
remember, when Dave was the Addicts champion, he was the Addicts champion.
Yeah.
He was there for the Addicts. That's why he had such, those awesome, he comes up with the belt and he's with you and Austin.
Exactly.
Hey, I'll say again. Hey, we miss you, man.
I do miss Dave.
If you decide you're going to watch this, we miss
much.
you.
I miss him so much.
But yeah, we're talking about Survive the Night. Skip Terrific going up against Sky De Lacrimosa, and the only thing he has to do is he has to last to the end of the show. He has to live to the end of the show. And it started out funny. It's like he just runs out of the building.
Yeah.
Just escapes.
And
gets into his car.
It's raining. A little weird there. Yeah, I know. I'm going to point that out.
Shut up.
I'm sorry. I'm bringing
Stop
logic
pointing out
into
the
this.
plot holes. But he escapes to a gas station where he's like, all I have to do is just avoid Sky. Awesome. And he turns around and there's Sky.
And just like any other great horror villain, there's just Sky. Just, appears.
He
just
goes
like
and he hides in
fucking
a porta
Jason.
potty. He hides behind a dumpster. He's just like, he goes and hides wherever he can, but Sky's right there.
It was
Like seriously, I less expect to see him with the with his Texas Chainsaw mask, and next time see him just with the Jason mask.
Oh yeah, it was awesome. I loved it. The only thing that would have made that more is if he had a chainsaw, or if even better, if he had Star with him, which I miss Star. We haven't seen Star in a while. But having this, because exactly how it's like how we talked about. How is this going to work? Is it going to be a bunch of vignettes and then they come to the ring? Which that's what happened. But it was, how is this going to end? And then Sky would put him down, and then Skip wouldn't give up. Skip wouldn't stay down.
Yeah. And the fact that it's like Skip runs into the building, gets it, he's like, I'm just going to hide out here for the rest of the show. I've got 14 minutes left. Yeah, no problem. And, he's thinking he's going to, he's like, no, wait, maybe I should escape out the front. And goes to the front door, and we got our wish.
Yep.
Sky came into the front.
And I think that was one of my favorite things is he looks at Cody, how much longer? You got 14 minutes. I can do this.
Yep. He even gave the air 5. Yes.
Oh my God.
That is probably one of my, it's so simple, but if you look at it and you think about it,
it's amazing.
That's a stiff move no matter how you do it.
It is, and it's one of those that it's great fan interaction. But no, everything, like I said, I loved it because it was that comedy / seriousness that accompanies, I think, Sky everywhere.
And Skip,
which this is Skip Terrific, right? Or are we on Terrified now? Okay.
No, wait. At the end of it, he was Skip Delicious.
Yeah. But no, this match it is what it was, and it was good. It was good. It wasn't bad.
It was a gimmick match, but it was a fun gimmick match.
It was 4 Death by Stereos.
Something like that.
So, no, it was, like I said, I enjoyed it, and I love how it was ref stoppage. It wasn't Skip quitting. It wasn't Skip staying down for 3. And it was Sky literally trying to end Skip until the ref finally says, no, he's done.
Yeah. And then after that, Travis Trueborn, head senior official for MPX, made his call on the tag team belts. We'll actually get more into that when we talk about the match next week. But basically, we'll see another tag match between Punch Drunk Love and Larger Than Life at Alone in the Dark.
Yeah, I can't wait to talk about that one because there's a lot of emotions going on.
There's a heck of a lot of emotions in this one. But we'll see how this goes. But the main event.
Man.
Oh,
this is another one where there's a lot of emotions going into this.
And it's like it was everything we were expecting.
It was very good. It was a couple things I wasn't expecting. Like I told a friend, I got the direction creatively. Why? And I got where we're going. Not gonna lie, low key, still a little pissed about it. Just
That's because you marked out.
I did what I normally hate to do, and that's I fanned and marked out for Dimitri losing. And it's one of those where, like I said, I get the creative. I get having a top heel, at least in what you think is a top heel in Exodus. Winning.
Heel.
He is. Winning and going and calling out Wes. I get all that. And I'm okay with him cheating to get that third fall in order to win. It's just one of those where, man, I think Dimitri's on the cusp of something that, and it doesn't look, every loss doesn't mean you go back down. And I always hate that. Oh, one loss means a buried. No, it doesn't.
Well, the thing is like, even though they've had this feud going for about a month now,
right?
This is only the first time that the two of them have actually met in the ring.
Yeah, singly, like one-on-one.
One-on-one. They met in that fatal four-way beforehand, but this was the first time they've met face-to-face on their own.
And it was good.
And honestly, while it was a big blow-off and everything like that and led to, honestly, what I can't wait to see next week,
right?
I'm perfectly confident that we are going to see this again. We're going to see the two of them go against
We'll see this again, and we'll see Dimitri, we'll see Dimitri next Saturday. And again, like I said, I know not one loss equals and this and that. And like I said, I got the creative and direction after I stewed a little bit. I wasn't like some people.
Sometimes it's good to just spin.
Literally just walked out. Cole.
Oh man.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you unfortunately had to leave.
Yeah.
Michael Cole. Yeah, as soon as the pinfall happened, got up and left his mom and his fiance there, and I was like, "Damn, Cole." But no, it was one of those. That's how invested some people were in this.
Yeah.
I can only imagine, like, I get why Lugo wasn't there for his anniversary and celebrate and everything. Man, can you imagine the reaction if Lugo was there?
Jeez, if Lugo had actually been there.
I mean, again, like we've said,
with Tatum winning and Exodus winning, he'd have just,
Oh, that's what I can't wait.
I think that would have been the loudest we'd ever see
meet.
Lugo.
Oh, yeah. And that's the thing we've said with Exodus is, man, if you're a heel and you get Lugo behind you, you're doing something right.
Oh, yeah.
And that's
he
why
is our consummate heel mark, and we love him for it.
And that's why I have no problem with, like I said, I get the creative and direction because Exodus is a good
He's
heel.
that good.
When he has come in for the little bit he has, and he's gotten to where he can get in Doug, where he's comfortable getting in Doug's face, where he knows I haven't seen it yet, but I think the very first time Lugo cheered for him, he said, "I don't need you." And now I think he realized who Lugo is and everything, so he'll give him that little nod.
Yeah.
But man, that when he comes out and sees people cheering and says, "I don't need you, I don't like you," blah, 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 that's a great heel.
Yeah, it's like Lugo's respect, Doug's ire. Those are the benchmarks that you go for on when it comes to the addicts, because it's like you get Lugo's respect, you're that good. And if you get Doug mad at you constantly, you're that entertaining.
And I think what's good and cool about that is no one knows that coming in. They just automatically feel it, do it, and then we're like, oh look. They're established because they know what to do.
Oh yeah,
they're a true MPX athlete now.
Yep.
If you can sit there and yell at Doug, you're an MPX athlete.
But after the match, Exodus gets the mic and he throws out a challenge to Wesley Crane, saying that you're holding my belt.
Yeah, and then I love Wes's callback on Facebook. Decepticon or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's going to decapitate him. Oh, my God. It's brilliant. And I can't wait for this match, not just because it's going to be entertaining for the Facebook that we've got, the in-ring. Because, again, we've pointed out Wes is one of those where he enjoys having the show put on his shoulders and saying, I'm going to be the best out there. And to take someone like Exodus, who we haven't seen a lot of, but what we have seen is impressive. These two are going to match up, I think, very well together.
Oh, yeah.
So it's going to be great.
And this is going to be a great match. I can't wait to see it. And speaking of that, let's go ahead and start talking about Alone in the Dark, because we've got all the matches on this one.
Yeah, I was shocked. That's you have to look closely for Dimitri's Facebook, but yes, there was a match announced there.
Oh yeah,
so it's awesome.
We're going to see Dmitry Alexandrov going up against Luke Langley.
Yes,
which, if you're not familiar with him, he's better known up in Oklahoma.
Yep.
Which means, of course, now he's finally coming down to the real wrestling.
He's a great talent. He's part of that what was it, Diamond Dog Industries or Black Diamond?
Black Diamond Industries.
Black Diamond Industries with Graham Bell used to be his tag partner, I think, back in the day. I've seen one match of his before, I think, and then I've seen clips. So I'm very excited to have him come down here. Him and Dimitri had a great match 2 or 3 months ago. So I already know this match is going to be amazing. Yeah. I just thoroughly enjoy the call out. Like, I'm a sucker for vignettes. I really am. I'm a sucker for the call outs.
It's like video promos. It's like, that's one of the reasons I loved Nastico's promo war.
Yes.
That was really, really good.
I
wasn't a big fan on the electoral college aspect of the last two, but still, you know, it was good.
And I can't believe I'm going to say this on MPX. Despite everything we say about Nastico, I don't think there's a harder working person in the DFW area.
Man calls himself the best manager in Texas, and honestly, he is working his ass off to get that.
He does.
To be the absolute truth.
Now, we still have Lance Romance and Jamie Aller in the area, and those will always be 1A and 1B, especially to me. But man, as far as hard working and getting out there and promoting shows, man, there's not much better than Nastico.
It's like, but if you look at Lance Romance and Jamie Aller, they're like the last two generations of great managers and everything. Jamie and Lance, they're still good. They're still doing what they do best. But, you know, it's like Lance got started a while ago, and he was the best during that time. Jamie got started not a while ago, but some time ago. And he was the best and still is one of the absolute best. Nastico is the next generation. He is honestly, you know, he's working his ass off. He's not just like he said, he's not just a mouthpiece.
No.
He will actually be your manager, and he will help you get better booking and everything like that. And that is the kind of manager that you want to see.
No, it is.
Honestly, that's the kind of manager I wanted to be when I wanted to be a manager.
Yep. Well, yeah, because it goes back to how I always idolized Bobby the Brain Heenan. We always heard stories about that.
And Bobby the Brain Heenan, Paul Ellering.
Yep.
You know,
they literally were the manager. They were managers. They took care of the talent. Or
Paul Heyman when he started managing for Brock Lesnar.
Yep, and that's because I saw a thing where Paul Heyman hates the word, always has hated the word manager, and I was like, I get it. That's why he's like the advocate.
He's the advocate,
which I actually like that. But no, I think Nastico's great. If it wasn't for certain things, I think he would do very well in MPX.
I agree.
But anyways, neither here nor there.
Yep.
Luke Langley taking on Dimitri. Again, I love the call out of Luke, and then I love Dimitri's rebuttal. I love this back and forth. Yeah, the promos. And it's great. I'm looking forward to this match because, like I said, I've seen clips of what they did in Oklahoma, and it was great. I can't wait to see a full match.
Yeah. And honestly, we'll get that.
Yeah.
And it's going to be awesome.
It is.
But speaking of returns and things like that, you talked about it earlier for the Scooby-Doo thing. We're getting Matt Palmer back as his Monster Hunter gimmick and going after one of the monsters of MPX, the vampire, Jason Silver.
Immediately, I'm pretty sure it was Silver. I commented and I go, vampires are monsters? Okay.
Yeah, no, it was like the first time I saw it, my first thought was, bad time to be a vampire.
And it's one of those where it's like, I think there's another big monster. No, there's not. No, there's not another monster that has a fourth defense coming up. No, there's not.
I want to see that match.
No.
It'd be
after
awesome match.
he defends the fourth time. Then
yeah,
and that one I am very personal and biased on. I would walk out probably.
No, I don't blame you.
But no, Silver and Palmer we know is going to be great just because, well, the two have worked each other who knows how many times.
And they're both absolutely top tier wrestlers.
And I think just that little bit we got at Scooby, Palmer hadn't missed a beat. Palmer, and that's, I can't believe every time I see Palmer, I say that because Palmer takes these breaks, which obviously I get. He's been doing this for God knows how long. His body probably is all beat up to hell.
Yeah.
So he has to take these breaks. But every time he comes back, it's like he never left. And I think that's amazing because you'll see some wrestlers leave and come back and you can tell they've missed something or they're missing a step or they're slower here or what have you. They're out of shape or whatever. Palmer looked in phenomenal shape. I want to say better than last time we saw him.
Yeah.
And he looked just as quick, if not quicker, than ever before.
When he actually, it's like he came out as Freddy with the ascot on and everything, and just, just went to town. It looked fantastic.
When he nailed that flying forearm, kind of like Shawn Michaels used to and does the nip up, oh my God. It reminds me of old Palmer when I first started going to MPX. Like how Austin will always joke Kenny Steele was his first MPX champion. Mine was Palmer.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget the first time I saw him was him versus Houston Carson, and Carson did a stunner into where Palmer flopped to his back, nipped up, super kick, 1, 2, 3. That was their finish. And
Wow.
me being a Shawn Michaels fan, absolutely loved it. My friends being Stone Cold fans absolutely hated it. And I just thought it was great because it was such a fluid motion of bumping to the stunner to back on your feet, super kick, pin.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful thing.
And honestly, if it weren't for this is going to be one of those shows where just about every match could be a main event somewhere on another night and everything. Because after that, we've got JD Griffey going up against Xander Gold. If you don't know who Xander Gold is, he's also known as Dusty Gold, or was known as Dusty Gold. I think he changed his name. Yeah. And this man has gone up against Malico and Brian Cage and just some of the absolute best out there. And, oh, man, he's a great wrestler. Griffey's a great wrestler. This is going to be an exciting match.
Yeah, I'm excited to get Jerome. Sorry, I'm going to refuse the JD Griffey thing. I'll probably get to it. I eventually stopped saying Joey to Joe, so maybe. I'm always happy to have Jerome back because, again, that was one of my first fanboy moments in MPX was I fell in love with Jerome and the trust fund and everything. Yeah. So it's always great to have him back. And it's weird. He's one of those that I fell in love with his character first, and then his in-ring work. I was like, holy crap, he's good. Yeah. I'm very excited. I've seen clips of Xander back when he was Dusty. So I'm excited. I think this will be very good. I like how Jerome has finally embraced the Muay Thai into his repertoire. He always had it. He always used it a little. Now it's just full on.
Yeah.
Even to the point where he wrestles without shoes, which I don't like, but I get it.
Yeah.
And it works for someone like him. Now, for someone like CT, it doesn't make sense, and I don't like it.
I think that's just because he's tired of losing his boots.
Okay. But yeah, for people like, Jerome and Riddle and stuff like that have an MMA background, I totally like the no shoes approach.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's the only reason. If you're someone like Kevin Von Erich who just didn't like wrestling boots, I don't like it.
Yeah.
Samoans, I guess, were one. Like when Umaga did it, and the head
made sense.
Well, and I thought it was funny with the head shrinkers when they put boots on them and they kept freaking out trying to take them off. Oh my God, it was great. Oh. Anyways, Jerome and Xander, I think it's going to be very solid. I think it's going to be one of the stiffer matches we're going to have.
Probably.
So it'll be interesting.
Yep. And then after that, we've got that rematch of Tatum and Dexter.
Yeah.
God damn it, Bambi.
Who will not be the official.
It's like he won't be the official this time, and Dexter can't cheat to win. Well, I mean, okay, he can't get caught cheating to win.
Right, because if that's a DQ and Tatum retains the title.
Yeah. So, it's like, heck, Tatum could take a page out of Dexter's book and cheat to win.
But that's not Tatum's style.
Are you kidding? That is totally Tatum's style. That is one thing I love about him. He's like the concept of the tweener came about during the Attitude Era, and since he is being the Attitude Era character, it's like this. It'd be perfect.
Like I said, our retro show just needs to be a bunch of people against Tatum. He comes out to somebody different. But no, Tatum versus Dexter. This match is gonna be great. I like how Bambi is not the official, yet I can clearly see something happening to where Travis gets knocked out and all we have left is Bambi.
Yeah.
Could be interesting.
I don't know. We've always got Brennan.
No, we don't. I think he's in timeout or something.
Yeah.
No, and then we never know. Like if maybe Anthony's around again. I hope. I like when Anthony's there. But no, I see this match being, like you said, if it wasn't for other things on the card, and hell, they might prove us both wrong, this could be match of the night. Dexter is, again, one of the best vets in the DFW, in the Midwest, probably. Just one of the hardest working vets that you're going to learn so much from, either in ring, on the mic, and promos, honestly, pushing yourself on social media. There's no better than Dexter.
It's like, and you saw Skip's post about how it's like if he can be real for a moment, Dexter's probably the quintessential what you want a vet to be in the back room, which honestly that makes perfect sense to me. Yeah. It's like the way the man has been since we started covering him and everything like that. He has been just an absolutely wonderful, gracious person. Yep. If you're a fan, he treats you like a fan. If he's a worker, you're a worker. He treats you like, nephew kind
Right.
of deal.
Yeah.
And everything like that. He's
Uncle
willing
Dexter.
to be there to offer advice and to tell you honestly whether he liked something or not. And he likes us somewhat,
Kinda.
sometimes.
Likes me. He doesn't like you.
Yeah.
That's most people, though.
Okay. He and I get along because we're both Lions fans, so we're used to that.
Okay, you're used to miss. Well, I can't say anything. So. Is this
When
what
the
it
Lions-
feels like?
It's like when the Lions have a better season than the Cowboys, this year is weird.
This is what it feels like. Okay. No, Dexter's one of the, again, like we said last week, Tatum's going to learn so much in this match, and he's going to learn more.
Yeah. It's going to make Tatum that much better, and Dexter is going to, it's going to be worthwhile. Do I think Tatum's going to retain? I'm hoping so.
I think so.
I don't. It's like I said before. I'm really just kind of tired of those one match.
Yeah, I don't like playing hot potato with the title.
Yeah.
I do. I say that, then I hate how Dexter lost it so quickly, kind of. Which
Yeah.
I guess it really wasn't quick if you think about it.
No,
But I mean, I guess because this year is just so weird, it seems quick.
yeah. It's like it seems both quick and at the same time a long time.
Right. But again, this match is going to be great, and this is going to be something. Yeah, afterwards, it's going to be a thank you, Uncle Dexter, to Tatum from Tatum.
Yeah.
Because he's going to learn a lot. And again, like I said, Dexter's at that point now where yes, he wants to help the younger talent, but he also still wants a piece for himself. So I think they're both going to go out there trying to steal this show, which is like we said, it's going to be hard to steal it from.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's like
Exodus.
if it weren't for some of the other matches here, this would obviously be match of the night.
It's going to be hard to steal from Alone in the Dark, from Swoggle, but if any two man can do it, Dexter and Tatum probably could.
Yeah. So after that, I want to talk about the two tag matches last because those are the biggest story and biggest awesome.
Yeah, the Alone in the Dark match we definitely want to talk about last because that's gonna be a long talk.
Wesley versus Exodus. The fact that we're getting this match, one of my first thoughts was, isn't it a bit early for Exodus to be getting this big of a shot?
It is very early, but like I said, given the heel work he's done and what. Yes, we have a lot of heels, but we have very few top heels.
Yeah.
Exodus is there, I think. I think you look at it and look on the run he's done and the destruction he's laid out.
Yeah.
Exodus has
and just how much of a
race to
reaction
call
he
it.
gets from the crowd, whether, cheering or booing or anything like that.
Gets a
and
reaction.
heck, people have a hard time booing him, and he plays with that too, and that's great.
Well, and it's like, I forgot who I quoted when I quoted. I think it was Eric Bischoff. I don't give a shit if they cheer or boo as long as they're getting a fucking reaction.
Yeah.
He's like, that's all that matters. And yeah, he's getting the boo reaction, which is what you want.
Yeah.
So it's great, and it was in response to Roman. It doesn't matter if they're cheering or booing,
Yeah.
as long as he's getting that reaction.
Yep.
And that's the thing with Exodus. He's gotten such a great reaction, and like we've talked about, he knows what fans to work. He knows what fans to go against. He knows who to go against, and even in ring, his just swagger about him is great.
He's got the MPX ring and the MPX arena figured out.
Yep.
And that just makes his matches all the better.
Exactly.
So honestly, this match, I mean, he's going to be going up against one of the most beloved MPX champions in recent memory.
Yeah, if not ever.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Every time Wes comes, it's always a treat when we get him because, unfortunately, it is Oklahoma, so it is quite a drive. So we get him very sparingly. But when he comes, there's a different atmosphere in that event center.
He makes the MPX championship feel special, and I'm like, yes, it is special because it's the MPX champion. But the fact that he comes down, whether it's the first match or the last match, he makes it feel like this is an important match you want to watch.
You know how I feel about that, and
I
already know he's not going to close. I already get that because the Alone in the Dark match should close the card. But man, Wes, I'm telling you, Wes and Exodus, I really wish he would change his profile name. Exodus. But no, Exodus and West, they're going to.
I think
they're
he
gonna kill
tried,
it.
but Facebook did the whole.
Not real.
Yeah, that's not a real name. Like when I tried to do the certified mark profile.
Yeah. I think they're gonna kill it, and I do think they probably could steal the show, and more than likely will. And I think this this is going to be a title match that I think is going to take a lot of people by surprise because we've already seen it. A lot of the addicts are already saying, why is X getting a title shot, blah, blah. And I think he's going to sit there and prove to you why he got that title shot.
And the thing is, if he wins, I think you're going to have people upset, but I think they'll be more upset because Wesley lost than Exodus got it too early.
Yep.
Because he's got that, hot rod, Phoenix Rising kind of deal.
Yep.
Because he just, boom.
Yeah. It's definitely going to be interesting to see where we go because that's the thing. So he does this, say he does lose. What do we get from him now? It's one of those things. Yeah. And then, like I said earlier with Dimitri, not every loss means you're getting buried and you're moving down, blah, 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 whatever. Yeah. It just depends what is creative or what does management have for you next.
Yeah. And who knows? Maybe if he loses this match, Exodus will turn his sights to Tatum and you will get that awesome match.
That would be great because I think right now, other than Jamie, I think giving Exodus a live mic. Okay, next to CJ too. Give Exodus a live mic. I think he can compete with Tatum.
Do you note how all of the guys we call top heels at MPX are the ones that you give them a mic? It's fantastic.
Maybe it's because I enjoy heel work, but I also enjoy great wrestling like Matt Locke.
Yeah. But let's go ahead and talk about the other two matches, the two tag team matches. First, Menage a Trois versus Swoggle and Legs.
I'm so excited to see Swoggle back. Swoggle's always... It's one of those where I never realized how exciting he is until you see him. Like, the very first time I saw him, he was a surprise at a St. Patrick's show at Maine in Limitless. No one knew he was there. He was a surprise opponent for someone, and just his music hit, and he was exciting, and he got the crowd into it. And then come to MPX, and they're like, hey, we're bringing in Swoggle. Oh, cool. Yeah, I remember seeing him. He was fun.
Yeah, and it's like, I was all kinds of excited. I can't remember who it was. I think it was Dave, actually. That was like, you're excited for Swoggle?
No, I wasn't.
I'm like, I'm just like, yeah, because he's good. He's entertaining. He's fun.
Yeah.
That's what you kind of want from these kinds of people.
Yeah, and it's one of those, because that's the thing. Like, I don't know. You bring someone in, and you're thinking, oh, they're going to be a great wrestler. And look, Swoggle, for what he is, Swoggle's good. Don't get me wrong. Swoggle actually can work a match and make it entertaining. Now, you're not going to get a 5-star match out of him, but it's going to be entertaining. And I think, maybe
2.5.
Yeah, short jokes are my thing. This is a short show, remember?
Yeah.
But no, when you go back and like I was talking to you before we started recording, when you go back and look at the Texas Rumble, you look at all the people Swoggle worked with. That's pretty much who's in this match, minus Tatum and Dexter. Because he worked. Oh, yeah, and Jamie. Well, Jamie might come out. He's got issues with Swoggle.
True. He's got his own. He's
preoccupied.
Yeah, he's got his own thing to deal with that night. So.
But no, Swoggle and Legs, I think it's a great pairing because even though we haven't seen Legs other than when he teams with Tatum, he still gets one of the top reactions. And it's something, like we said before, well, never mind. His longest working match was in that tag match with Tatum against Menage a Trois, and he looked good. So I think this is going to be very interesting to have him go back out there against Menage a Trois, who he's already got a good chemistry with. And him and Swoggle, I think, are going to be hilarious, and they're going to be entertaining.
Especially now that Legs has had more time to get more comfortable being in the ring, being, out there to the fans and everything like that. Because when he first came out, he was loud, but still kind of withdrawn. But now
he didn't woo. So
I don't know. Maybe that might have been the problem. But now he's going to be just that much more entertaining.
Yeah.
So
that match is going to be great. And like I said, it's always great to see Swoggle, little bastard. So it's going to be great.
And, of course, we have to talk about what's likely going to be the main event, what's going to be the most important match of the night, because Punch Drunk Love versus Larger Than Life for the MPX Tag Team Championships in an Alone in the Dark match.
I hate and love this match.
Yeah. It's like, I got to wonder if it's going to be same Alone in the Dark rules as last time, where it's going to be 1 versus 1, and then
I was thinking that too, but then I figured just with 2, I figured they're just going to just going to go out there and it's going to be tornado tag. Who knows? We'll probably find out Saturday. But it's the stipulations. Like, okay, so if Baby D or Stephen Kirby pin either one of Larger Than Life, Jamie's gone from MPX for good. If Larger Than Life pins either Baby D or Kirby, whoever takes that pinfall is no longer an MPX active competitor. I think that's very important to notate because they put it on Facebook. Because that obviously leaves room for them to do something else.
Yeah.
And that's, if you go back and look at the history of MPX and talk to these wrestlers.
Remember Baby D and Dave Sagan had a loser leaves town match, and Baby D.
Well, okay, let's be honest right now and call it what it is. In wrestling, no one ever fully retires, especially in a stipulation match.
Yeah.
There's always shenanigans. Something always comes up. Stephen Kirby lost a retirement match in a coffin and came back 2 months later, I think.
Yeah.
So we never know. Now, here's the thing. If you look at the history of MPX, if you talk to the people in MPX, and if you listen to our show, and especially the Baby D interview, Baby D has talked about retirement. Most people who have talked to Kirby said that he's talked about retirement for a number of years. And while me and you both sit there and say why, because they're so good, we're not in their bodies, so we don't know. And the other thing is, well, with Jamie also has taken time off and breaks, and Jamie himself has said, look, if it's not for Ryan and Tommy, I'm probably not here.
Yeah.
So
it's like, honestly, he's not here for MPX, he's here for Ryan and Tommy.
Right.
Even as much as he loves MPX.
So if I'm looking at this as real, not as the storyline, which we'll get into later, I honestly don't know where we go, because all three of these people have said at different times they want out.
And honestly, it's like I've got this in full caps in my notes here. It's like there is no outcome to this match that I like.
There really isn't, and that's just what I'm about to say. From either a fan, as as real as I can be, or even as storyline as I can be, I don't like any of these outcomes.
Yeah,
like even as
I was like, admittedly, on Mainline, if Jamie loses and he's out, you're going to hear the certified mark just like cheer.
Exactly.
But me, Jay Williams, the idea of Jamie Aller no longer being at MPX just doesn't sit right with me.
It doesn't.
The idea of Kirby no longer being out there in the ring doesn't sit right with me. The idea of Baby D no longer being there terrifies me. I don't want that. That's not an MPX I like much.
And it's the same thing on Mainline. I would sit there and say, oh, good, Kirby got what he deserved, or oh, Baby D got what she deserved. She says I was Kirby. Deep down, though, in real life, Kyle, I'm super sad, and I'm probably breaking down in tears for any three of these people to leave.
Yeah.
Because while, yes, I'm not in their bodies, and they may want to retire as a fan, I can't tell. Like Kirby. Yeah. Prime example, Friday.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
Kirby was so good. And Baby D and Erica Torres, so good. Like, I don't want either one of them to, even if it's just for a month or 2 months, to be, oh, they're no longer an active competitor, they're now the GM or whatever. I don't really want that. Yeah. And then, of course, I don't want Jamie to not be there. So it's one of those things where it's like, really, I hate this match. Like,
one way or the other, MPX is lesser for the ending of this match.
Like, and I get where, like I said, I think it's important they say active competitor, because I know that's going to come into play somewhere down the road. And yes, it's wrestling. They'll never retire. They'll come back, blah, blah, blah. I don't get the point of this match. I really don't get the point of this. I get the Alone in the Dark match concept. When we first had it, it got Dave out of the Impact Players. It got Dave to Emo Sagan. It got Dave to House Sagan. It propelled Dave. There was a point to the Alone in the Dark match. It propelled the Crypt.
But this time it's going to be a full stop for someone.
Exactly. It's not, and granted, it was supposed to be a stop for Dave, but it wasn't. It propelled him to something better. And it may do this again as well, and we just don't know. And yes, we're just speculating and everything like that. But it's, as the creative mind I have in the booker and what I want to do, I don't see a reason for this match. I don't see a good outcome. I don't see a good writing for
this.
There
is no outcome I like to this. And honestly, we're starting to run out of time here, but that is just seriously... Can we just end this on a draw? Nobody wins, nobody loses.
I was going to say,
totally new tag team champions.
Yeah, we just get a tag title tournament.
Yeah,
which again, and that's the thing. So if Jamie's not there, you're looking at Ryan and Tommy by themselves, which they can do that. We did see when Jamie was the good guy GM that no one liked for some reason.
Can't imagine why.
Ryan was out there by himself a lot with that MPX title. And so yes, they could do it by themselves, but why?
Yeah.
And again, just an MPX without one of the four pillars. We've already lost Frankie. I mean, I Again, I don't get a point. I don't. I'm
Neither
sorry.
do I.
I'm sorry,
But either
MPX
way-
management and writers. I just don't get it.
We are starting to run out of time here, guys. So if you're able to, if you've been watching this, thank you very much for watching us on YouTube. This is an experiment to see if this works, and well, we'll try it again later, see how we get things done. But make sure you check us out on YouTube, on Spotify, and wherever you get your your podcasts and the like, because we're trying. We are. And get your tickets for this Saturday, because this Saturday is going to be a very big deal.
I'm going to be alone in the dark on Saturday afterwards.
Either way, keep it kayfabe, wrestling fans.
See a select few of you Wednesday, but most of you on Saturday.
Yep. Mark out. What's up, wrestling fans? Thanks for listening. If you liked the show, make sure you like, share, and follow us on Spotify or wherever you listen to MPX Rehab. You can also follow us on YouTube and Facebook for more MPX and Texas wrestling related content. Want to support us even more? We have a Patreon and merchandise you can buy at any shows you meet us at. Just look for Team Certified Mark. Thanks again, and as always, keep it kayfabe, wrestling fans. Mark out.